This is plamaria. And so is this. It's also known by a host of other names such as Franny Panny and Hawaiian lay plant. I'm going to propagate some of this. Let me show you how. What I have here are two very lovely cuttings of a beautiful plamaria. These were a gift to me from Miss Gomez at Pure Produce Hydroponic Farm. I was doing some work for her and she needed one of these trimmed up, and she let me have these two beautiful cuttings. So I'm going to show you how I propagate these. The first thing is, after you get the cuttings, is set them off to the side for a little bit. And you're going to let the ends dry out. This is an extremely important step. It could take a few weeks to a couple months, but put them off somewhere in the shade where they'll stay dry. So, welcome to How to Garden. This is a classic here in Florida. Plamaria are everywhere. Some people call them Franny Pannies. Any number of different names. At one point, these were extremely valuable here. And people would pay big money to get them. Nowadays, a cutting is worth $1 to $5 depending on what it is. You'll find them everywhere. I myself am quite fond of them. I have 3 different varieties now. At one point I had like 8 varieties. I have family members that have dozens of varieties. They're very low maintenance. They bloom beautifully all summer. Many of them smell fantastic. But as far as cloning them goes, it's really simple. As long as you let them dry out first, and that's so important. If you just take them and you stick them in a pot without letting them dry out, there's a high chance that they'll rot. But if you let them dry out, and what you're looking for is the bottom part being very dry, then it's really easy. But there are a couple other things you want to do. You want to take off any leaves except for right here at the top. Look at it drip. Now that latex, some people have a reaction to. I'm not one of them, so some people might want to wear gloves. And just simply get rid of the leaves and get rid of any flowers. This one is flowering, which tells me it's a beautiful pink with a yellow center, but I don't want it to waste its energy on the flower. So I'm going to take the flower off. And see, I'm not using any special tools. Now, it's going to drip pretty good for a little while, so be aware of that. Once you have it, all you really need to do is stick it in a pot. As long as you take the time and let them dry out, just stick them in a pot like this, set them off to the side, and let them do their thing. You don't want them in the direct sun. Now, once the plant has rooted and is mature, you can put it in the direct sun. They have no problem with the Florida sun. Very few plants here in Florida can you actually say that. After a year or two, it's going to start to bloom, and it will bloom and bloom and bloom. And I mean, I've got this one right here. It has been in full bloom since April, and I'll probably get blooms out of it until mid-October. It is not uncommon for it to be one of the most bloom and colorful plants in your yard, which is what makes them so popular here in Florida. Is not only do they bloom, but they have that nice tropical look. So if you run across somebody that has one and it's a color that you like, don't be afraid to ask them. Chances are they'll let you have a cutting or sell you a cutting for cheap. That's all there is to it. You sit to the side, forget about it. Don't forget about it. It doesn't really matter. It's almost bulletproof. I say I have a 90 to 95% take rate from cuttings as long as I let them dry out first. Happy gardening. Have a great day.